a couple of franchises in two sports, both with a lot of work to put in before they see the playoffs. Today, the Browns' Joe Haden said he and head coach Hugh Jackson talk all the time about Cleveland's future. Coach Hugh Jackson always comes up to me like, Joe, next year this time, we're going to be getting ready for the playoffs. I'm with you. We feel the same way. I believe in Coach. Meanwhile, in the NBA, the Lakers' D'Angelo Russell has the same outlook on his team, saying this: I want to be a part of this whole thing turning back around. I've seen what it was to be at its lowest point. I want to be a part of a playoff run this year. Next year, finals. Who's more delusional, those fans in Believe Land, or those players thinking the Browns will be in the playoffs next year, or the Lakers, folks? Playoffs this year, next year, finals?
It's hard to say that Cleveland having any even hopes of winning anything is on the horizon. They're so far away. I mean, you think of the main factor that's going to drive the Browns toward a playoff run is quarterback play, figuring that out, something they have not been able to do for 2 decades. But the loftiness of what D'Angelo Russell said, I think is more crazy.
Yep.
Finals? Next year? Is someone breaking up the Warriors? Spurs going somewhere? I don't know exactly where he thinks his path to the finals is, but the Western Conference, the last I checked, was the tougher of the 2 conferences, and the Lakers aren't that good. And what I see now, even if they take giant leaps forward, all that's going to do is get them into the playoffs. Maybe they win a round of the playoffs next year. But even that, it would have to take some giant steps forward. For me, at least with the Lakers, it's a staple franchise. And I know Cleveland was, back in the day, one of the preeminent franchises, but it's a long time since it's been that way. There's a destination for LA. It's Los Angeles. You look at the banners. It is the Lakers, the royalty, one of the royalty teams of the NBA. So you never know what's going to happen in free agency, if they can attract some people to play with this young core. So really, even as lofty and ludicrous as it is to think of the Lakers making the playoffs this year or going to the finals next year, I actually think they're closer to any of that stuff than the Browns, because nobody wants to play for the Browns. They have no answer at quarterback, and they're well beyond just a big free agent signing and figuring out quarterback. They're well beyond even that stuff of making the playoffs. I mean, you got the Steelers there, you have the Ravens there, you have the Bengals there, all within that division.
Tough division for sure.
That's arguably one of the toughest divisions in the whole NFL. So I don't think Cleveland's going anywhere for a while. I don't think they're sniffing the playoffs. Both these statements are absolutely cuckoo. That's why we talk about them, and that's why it's an interesting comparison. But at least the Lakers, they can't be down for too long. It's the Lakers.
It's the Lakers, and to your point, they have some pieces to build on. You don't really know what you could build on in Cleveland. We talk so much about
Joe Haden.
Just Joe Haden, but we talk so much about the Cavs, talk about the Indians, how they have something good going. It must be something in the water. But the Browns, it's still the water isn't that good.
The water's the color of their nickname.
Right.